Today, we're going to be taking a look at the top 6 characters in Injustice 2 Mobile. Now, I know that everybody has their own opinion. This is just mine, but I really did try to bring it down to 6 characters that I think you absolutely need to have because they are the best. Now, before we begin, I just really wanted to quickly give a big thank you because we reached 500 subscribers, which is absolutely crazy, especially in the time that we did it. My original goal was to hit 1K in 2 years, but we've reached 500 in just a few months, which is insane. Again, one more time, thank you, and now let's start the top 6. Number 6, Shazam. Shazam is an amazing character. He just has one small flaw. It's the fact that in order to utilize him at his best, you want to pair him up with Arcane and Might opponents because then they get that 100% attack bonus, which is really great. Now, the saving grace for this character is the fact that there are a lot, especially King of Atlantis Aquaman, there are a lot of really great Might and Arcane opponents in this game. So that really saves Shazam. But if you really didn't care about that, you can also add Shazam to any other team and have him as a tank because he is an awesome tank / support as well. Because whenever he blocks any special, he has a chance to interrupt the special and trigger his special 3. And his special 3 and his special 2 heal the entire team, which is really great. Again, a great support and a really great tank as well. This character, you can really not go wrong with him. Obviously, like I said, there's a lot of really great Arcane and Might opponents, so damage in raids is going to be absolutely insane. It's going to go up by 100%. I did hear somebody say that the 100% attack increase is only their base attack, so I don't know if that's true or not, but either way, this character is really great, and there's only one better support character than him, in my opinion. Number 5, Dr. Fate. This is an OG character, and it is awesome that he is the best support character, at least in my opinion. His passive is very simple. He basically decreases the amount that your specials cost by 2 bars of power. Really simple. His second passive is that he decreases by 10% the enemy defense, which is also a really great bonus because you're going to be spamming specials because your specials cost less. Now, the only reason why I have him higher than Shazam is only because you can pair this character up with anybody, doesn't matter if they're Arcane or Might, anybody, and it will work for them. And I find that for me, I like being a more aggressive player, and Dr. Fate allows me to do so, especially when you're tagging in and tagging out your teammates. You're going to be gaining a lot of bars of power. So in turn, you're going to be able to do your specials incredibly quickly. Now, as a character alone, Dr. Fate isn't really that great. His specials aren't really too amazing. You know, the only really interesting thing is the dot damage, but even then, it's just a little hazard on the ground, so that's not great. However, Dr. Fate is really great at doing what he's supposed to be doing, which is supporting his entire team. In addition, if you wanted to add a little bit of health to him, I've seen some people do this, you can turn him into a tank as well, but Dr. Fate is the best support character in the game, in my opinion. Number 4, Multiverse Armored Supergirl. This character is really great at doing what she's supposed to be doing, which is basically crippling her enemy. Her special 1 is really the reason why. Because when you do her special 1, she adds burning. And what burning does is not only does it have the current opponent's defense, but it also makes it so that the opponent basically doesn't have any sort of crit resistance at all. Which means that your critical attack hits are going to happen way more often. This is a really great character to use against Captain Cold, since one of the main problems with Captain Cold is that he has a buff where he's really crazy in the crit resistance. So this character completely disables that buff all the way. When you pair her up with Multiverse the Flash, she turns into a beast, man. Because, and you know, I was really hesitant in adding Multiverse teammates just because a lot of them really rely on each other. But I'm going to make an exception since this character is really that great. But when you pair her up with Multiverse the Flash, you don't have to worry about any sort of crit chance or any sort of crit damage. Yeah, you can add a little bit, but really all you want to add with this character is attack because her teammates are going to do the rest of the work. Plus, when you pair her up with either Supergirl, Green Arrow, Black Lightning, or Captain Cold, you don't have to worry about her health either since the other teammates do that for her. So with this character, all you're focusing on is attack. Attack. Her special 1 does even more damage, and her special 3 does even more damage when you already have her special 1 activated, or in other words, the burning activated, which is really great. This character has a lot, and I mean a lot of things going for her. She's got a lot of descriptions in her passives and her abilities. I'm not going to go over all of them. You guys just know that whenever you spam the special 1 and then you hit her special 3, that special 3 is going to be doing loads and loads of damage. And again, she is awesome at crippling her opponents. Number 3, Last Laugh the Joker. This character is a really great damage dealer, and the only reason why he's not higher on this list is because you preferably want to pair him up with his Poison Ivy teammate, because then he becomes an absolute monster. And even though there's nothing wrong with that, I still feel like a character that's more independent and does less damage is still technically a better character because you don't have to worry about getting his other teammates. But with this character, it is very, very much worth it because this guy does insane amounts of damage. In fact, as far as I know, this is the only character in the game that has defeated P1, P2, P3, and P4 in one single pip, which is absolutely nuts, man. That on its own is saying a lot about how much damage he can do, and I don't really have to say much, all right? When you pair him up with Flora, Poison Ivy, his basic attack hits do so much damage with the extra dot damage that they do. Plus, if you go over to his passive 2, which is called Joker Venom, he adds 150% Joker League of Anarchy teammates dot, which is insane because now he's going to be doing even more damage on his basic attack hits. You know, some hits can even do 100k damage. That's insane. In 10 of those hits, you're doing 1 million damage. That is crazy. In theory, he should be better than King of Atlantis Aquaman. However, like I said, he is a team character, so that is a little bit of a downside. But also, like I said, it is very much worth it to get his teammates because he is absolutely insane. He is also really great in Arena and in Champions Arena because he has a little bit of extra passives that have to do with stun and everything. And when you pair him up with Heartbreaker Harley Quinn, if an opponent is stunned, he's going to be doing 300% more damage, which is even more insane. Nobody really stands a chance when you're fighting against this team in Champions Arena or in regular arena. The only team that I even get close to defeating this team with is with the Justice League team, and that's with Justice League Cyborg, since he's immune to stun. But aside from that, everybody else is getting destroyed because this team, and in specifically the Last Laugh Joker, is one of the best characters in the entire game. Number 2, Silver Banshee. I kind of ran into this problem where I had Silver Banshee almost tied with Multiverse Armored Supergirl. And the only reason why is because I like Silver Banshee, but the only problem she has is that you have to go through many different steps in order to utilize her at her best. So, just as a quick example, whenever you have her in raids, you usually want to do her special 2, then you want to tag her out, and then you want to tag her back in and do a bunch of special ones, and then you want to tag her out and then tag her back in and do her special 3. That's a pretty dang long process. However, I kind of forgot that the whole point of this video is to talk about characters that are great at what they're supposed to be doing. And what Silver Banshee is great at doing is crippling her opponent. Multiverse Armored Supergirl does the same thing, and she's a little bit easier to do. However, it doesn't pay off as much as Silver Banshee, because Silver Banshee can do millions and millions and millions of damage. Millions of damage. There's a reason why they call her the Damage Queen, and that's why. You are going to have to put in the hard work in terms of learning how to use her, learning when to tag her in, when to tag her out, when to use certain specials. But at the end of the day, when you do learn those steps and you do become a professional when you use her, she is just a beast, man. She does so much damage. It's absolutely insane. Let's read her passives right now. She just has one. It's got 2 kind of parts to it, but whatever. Torment's Grasp. 90% chance to disable, 10% chance to ignore incoming dot, which is pretty dang great, especially since you're going to be fighting Dr. Fate. Most people fight Dr. Fate. So let's move on to her special 1. All right, Cursed Touch. 40% chance to inflict torment on basic attack and swipe attacks for 15 seconds. I only have that at level 60, so it might be a little bit longer, a little bit more. Special 2, Terrifying Wail. 19,000 damage-ish. Applies torment to the current opponent and forces them to tag out. Opponents tagged out in this way cannot be tagged in for 15 seconds. If there is only one non-boss opponent remaining, all of that opponent's special abilities are disabled for 12 seconds instead. That is pretty dang great when you're having her in Champions Arena and in regular arena, which we're going to talk about in just 1 second. Special 3, Sonic Boom. This is really where she booms. If an opponent is currently affected by Torment or is disabled in any way, Sonic Boom deals 90% more damage per disabled special and is armor piercing. Now, this is only at level 60. I'm not sure if it increases to 100% at level 70, but regardless, this character is awesome. To be completely honest, I didn't even read any of these specials. I just saw people using her and I just copied the exact same gameplay because there's really no way to go wrong with it, right? Even though there's a lot of steps, if you follow them, she's going to be doing millions and millions and millions of damage. Now, the only problem that you might be concerned about is, okay, she is really great at being an attack character, but how does she fend off, characters in Champions Arena or in regular arena who have a little bit more defense and who have, a lot of attack? Well, I found this character to be quite interesting to fight in arena and in Champions Arena because her attack is enough to just destroy anybody that comes in her way. I was actually kind of scared when I first used her in multiplayer just because I felt like other characters would just demolish her with the low amount of health and defense that she has. But she actually fends off pretty dang great, especially her special 2 that can disable, the opponent's specials for 12 seconds if they're the last one alive. Also, an interesting fact, as far as I know, this is the only character that has additional defense as a basic effect on one of her gears. I believe it's the last gear. Let's check this out right now. It's her gear 2, maybe. Yeah, her gear 2. So her gear 1 and her gear 2 both have defense. I did not notice this, and this really does help you out, not just in raids, but especially in Champions Arena and in regular arena. Overall, there's a lot of things to talk about this character. She is a little bit complex, like I said, which is why I struggled putting her to this list. But at the end of the day, she is great at being what she is, and that's being the damage queen. Number 1, King of Atlantis Aquaman. I don't think you guys expected anything less. This character is absolutely awesome. Not just in raids, but he is really, really, really great in raids. He's also great in Champions Arena and in regular arena, and he's a great character overall. He's got a lot of things going on for him. And you know what? It is way too much for me to just remember off the top of my head. So we're just going to read off of his overview, starting with the passive. So passive 1, Building Tsunami. 50% damage buff on special 1, 100% damage buff on special 2, and special 3. When Aquaman uses a special ability, he gains a damage increase buff for the rest of the match. Buffs stack to a maximum of 600%, only active in raid mode. Now, you might be saying, oh, that's kind of a bummer because it's only in raids. But trust me, this character is so great at attack that you don't even need that in Champions Arena or in regular arena. And when you hop over to raids, this passive is nuts, man. I would have never expected something like this to happen in raids, but it did, and I am so happy. I want to hop over to a T8 league just so I can use King of Atlantis Aquaman and see how much damage I can do. Because anybody could do it. Anybody could do it, especially when you spam his special 3, which we're going to get into right now. You're just going to be doing tons and tons of damage. But with this passive alone, I know that Justice League Cyborg starts off with 300% basic attack damage hits, but this guy, over the long run, is going to be doing not only 600% more damage on his basic attack hits, he's also going to be doing 600% more damage on his specials, which is absolutely insane, man. But wait, that's just his passive 1. Let's look at his passive 2, Ocean's Retribution. Super move disables opponent's super move for 60 seconds, and super move drains 3 bars of power. This isn't anything great. However, when you're fighting P4, it is pretty awesome, and this does work in Champions Arena and in regular arena, which is also pretty dang great. It's kind of like a really cool side passive to have that just adds to his greatness. Passive 3 is Waters of Life. He gets 10% health recovered per power bar. I'm not going to read the description that basically says it all. Whenever this character dies, quote unquote, he comes back to life. And according to how many power bars he has, that's how much health he's going to come back, each power bar giving him 10% back of health, which is really great because this character is supposed to be an attack character, right? You just want pure attack. And with this passive, you never ever have to worry about his health or his defense, because whatever his health is, you can double it automatically with this passive since he's going to come back to life anyways, which is really great. Now, at this point, with everything I've read, you don't really need awesome specials to conclude that this character is awesome. But with that passive 1, you got to give every single special a grain of salt since you get those really cool buffs. So special 1 doesn't have any special attributes to him, but again, with that passive 1, it just makes it even better. It's called 7 Seas Stab. Aquaman launches a multi-hit trident attack. Everybody has seen it. It is pretty cool. Let's move on to a special 2 called Shark Summon. Summons a vicious predator from the deep to attack the opponent. It's really great. It looks awesome. One time I was playing this while I was in gym class, and my friend saw me playing, and he was like, "Did a whale just come out of the floor?" Which I thought was pretty dang funny. Again, this special also adds 100% buff, which is great. Special 3 also adds 100% buff, and it's called Wrath of King Atlan. Now, you remember when I said that these specials don't need anything special in order to make them great because of the buff? Scratch that. This special is awesome on its own, man. It takes 10% of opponent's current health reduction. All right, it takes it away, and this only applies in raids. But if you're fighting in T8 and you just use his special 3 times, you're going to be doing millions of damage, and that's not even factoring the leveling up his gears or anything like that. Just spamming his special 3 does that. It does 43,000 damage, 43,669 damage from what I know right now. The only bad thing about his special is that it only activates 3 times. But to be honest, that's all you really need. We need to give these raid bosses a chance, and that's basically what the description is saying. Again, this character is really great. You can't really go wrong with him. When you do all of his specials and it starts buffing him up, and then you do his super move, this character just does insane amounts of damage. I know I said that a million times, but that's really just a fact of this character. That's what he's supposed to do. And because you're building him for raids, when you hop over to Champions Arena and in regular arena, every character they seem like a pebble. You could just step on them and not even notice it, right? Because they're that easy. Their health is so low. Your character is built to take out gods, and you're going to be fighting peasants. So obviously you're going to defeat him with the easiest time. And plus that ability where he can come back to life also triggers in Champions Arena and in regular arena. So even then, also you don't have to worry about defense or health. This character is just the best character in the game. If you ask any professional or even then, any modest player, you ask them, what characters do I need? They will, number one, always guaranteed tell you to get King of Atlantis Aquaman because he is that awesome.